Hi, good morning. Happy Star Wars Day, y'all. Today is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. Sunday, May 4th. We're in the second quarterly. Illusions, images, symbols. How to study Bible prophecy. There should be an "and" in there somewhere. Anyway, the title of this one is Futile Sacrifices. It's a question. Sometimes contrasting two ideas can be very instructive. Much can be learned about the nature of sacrifice in the biblical perspective from when God actually rejected the sacrifices of his people. Compare Isaiah 1, 2 to 15 with Isaiah 56, 6 and 7 and Psalms 51, 17. What important lessons about sacrifices are taught here? Isaiah 1, 2 to 15. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nurtured and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows its owner, and the donkey its master's crib. But Israel does not know. My people do not consider. Alas, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a brood of evildoers, children who are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked to anger the Holy One of Israel. They have turned away backward. Why should you be stricken again? Will you revolt more and more? The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faints. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed or bound up, or soothed with ointment. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire. Strangers devour your land in your presence, and it is desolate, is overthrown by strangers. So the daughter of Zion is left as a booth in a vineyard, as a hut in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city, unless the Lord of hosts had left us a very small remnant, we would have become like Sodom. We would have been made like Gomorrah. Hear the words of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear to the law of our God. You people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifice to me, says the Lord? I've had enough of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed cattle. I do not delight in the blood of bulls or of lambs or goats. When you come to appear before me, who has required this from your hand, to trample my courts? Bring no more futile sacrifices. Incense is an abomination to me. The new moons, the Sabbaths, and the calling of assemblies. I cannot endure iniquity and the sacred meeting. Your new moons, your appointed feasts, my soul hates. They are trouble to me. I am weary of bearing them. When you spread out your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Even though you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash yourselves, make yourselves clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke the oppressor. Defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. And the next one was Isaiah 56, 6 and 7. Also the sons of the foreigner who join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone who keeps from defiling the Sabbath and holds fast to my covenant, even them I will bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices will be accepted on my altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations. It sounds like the comparison is the one is rejecting him and the other is accepting him. Now, what was it? Psalms 51:17. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. These, O God, you will not despise. So, basically, don't be proud. A broken and contrite heart. That doesn't mean that you're just on the verge of suicide. It means that you're not proud. Okay. So basically, if you reject him, he's going to reject you. If you accept him, well, he'll accept you. This tragic episode in Israel's history was not the first time that God rejected a sacrifice. Something similar happened near the beginning of salvation history, when Abel's sacrifice was provided and acknowledged by God, and Cain's was not. That early episode gives us another opportunity to contrast acceptable and unacceptable sacrifices, as in Genesis 4:3-7, also in Hebrews 11:4. I'll link back to it. In Isaiah's time, Israel was going through the motions, mentally checking off religious boxes in a minimal attempt to appease God, all while living as they pleased. Their sacrifices were anchored in self, just as Cain's were, and not in an attitude of surrender and submission to God. It's the same spirit that animates the kingdoms of this world, the spirit of self-sufficiency. Cain would live as he pleased and render mere ritual to God on his own terms. One can only assume that he viewed God as an inconvenience, a roadblock to setting his own course. But he feared God just enough to go through the motions. Abel, however, offered the sacrifice that God had requested, the sacrifice that exhibited the promise God made of a coming Messiah, a lamb pointing forward to the saving act of Christ at Calvary. Abel grasped the great principles of redemption. He saw himself a sinner, and he saw sin and its penalty, death, standing between his soul and communion with God. He brought the slain victim, the sacrificed life, thus acknowledging the claims of the law that had been transgressed. Through the shed blood, he looked to the future sacrifice, Christ dying on the cross of Calvary, and trusting in the atonement that was there to be made. He had the witness that he was righteous, and his offering accepted. That was a quote from the book Patriarchs and Prophets on page 72. Discussion question. How crucial that we protect ourselves from simply going through the motions. How can each one of us experience what it means to depend totally upon the death of Jesus as our only hope of salvation? How can we experience what it means? Well, I mean, Jesus says himself, I forget in which gospel, but he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man gets to the Father but by me. You can't get to heaven if you don't accept Jesus. Anyway, thank you for listening. Wow, this took 8 minutes and 45 seconds. All right, well, see you tomorrow.